Preeti Panesar is my name. I'm your health, beauty, wellness consultant. And today we are choosing the right makeup products for your face and your skin type. And let's learn about the skin types. We have 4 major types of skin types, which is dry skin, oily skin, combination skin, and normal skin. And other factors which can affect our skin is also the environment, the age, the genetic, and what you are eating, because what you eat also shows on your skin. So we have to eat a very good balanced diet. Knowing your skin type is very important to choose the best skincare products. Right, so on the screen, you can see 4 different faces. The first one is dry skin. So if you have dry skin, when you just come out of the shower and you have not applied anything, your skin normally feels very stretchy, right? And then there is the normal skin, which feels stretchy, which does not feel stretchy nor oily. This is the best skin. You're always good to go on the go, and you do not face challenges with skincare. And then we have the combination skin, which feels oily on the T-zone. So T-zone is this area of the nose up to here, or half of the cheeks. And you feel oily on the T-zone, and the other part of the face, like the cheeks, the forehead, and the temples, you feel normal or dry. This is a very common kind of skin type in especially in the age group of 35 onwards, because of hormonal changes. You could have been a normal skin type, but as we age, as we grow, then the skin also changes. And then we have the oily skin, which feels oily all over, and that's another common age group of people. They have oily skin either from teenage, and that's how their skin stays, because they produce more sebum. So I hope I'm clear on different types of skin types. And then now, a major issue which we have been facing this season is dry skin. Even people with combination skin or normal skin, during winter, they go dry. So people with dry skin lack sebum in their skin, which can also happen as we age, or you are just one person who is born with dry skin. So if you have dry skin, there are major challenges you face than any other type of skin, which the skin feels tight and brittle. There is no elasticity, which can lead to roughness, and your complexion looks dull. Scaling, flaking, itchiness may occur. And when scaling, flaking, itchiness is occurring, this is now you're becoming sensitive because you have not been taking care of your skin. You can also be prone to redness, irritation, and infections, because like if you go out in the wind, you can turn red easily because you don't have a barrier in your skin or sebum to protect. Then there is chapping and cracking. And all this combined can lead to fine lines and wrinkles and early aging. So with dry skin, we have to be very careful. I will, in my next few slides, I'll share which creams and which products you can use to take care of the dryness. Then we have the oily skin. The skin is appearing always shiny. It can have breakout. The T-zone forehead can be more very oily, and the pores are very open, and there is a lot of excess sebum being produced. Now if the skin is not cleansed, the pores are not cleaned and shrunk, then you end up getting breakouts and rashes. And as we come to the makeup tips, we have to look for products which are oil free, matte finish, which create a smooth base. And we have to stay away from oil-based products, but we have to consider products which will give us a good base finish so that we do not sweat and absorb excess oil. Yes, like silicone products with a bit of silicone in it and giving mattifying finish to it, right? Then we have the combination skin. As I mentioned earlier, the combination T-zone tends to be oily and the cheeks area is dry or normal. For you, the products which you can use are both for dry and oily areas. So you can have a good mattifying foundation and sorry, excuse me, and a hydrating foundation for the rest of the face, or you can use products like tinted moisturizers, which have a bit of tint and moisture in it to take care of your skin, to enhance more beauty and make it look out even. We'll even check that out. And then we have the normal skin. The normal skin is balanced, has no excessive oil, it does not dry, it has a smooth texture. And you are very lucky because most makeup products should work on you well. You are not a person who has stress and you're always glowing. And even if you do not have normal skin, but by usage of right products, we are able to get your skin back to normal, which I'll share also. And in that space, understanding your undertone will make it easier to select makeup products and clothing shades that enhance your natural beauty. So the main undertones are cool, warm, and neutral. So you can observe the color closely. It could be a foundation shade, a piece of clothing, or any other color. Because we all know when we dress up, some colors really flatter us, some do not. And you can also compare this with a reference point. You can put that color next to a white piece of cloth or a white surface and try to see, is it on the cooler side or on the warm side? So let's study the warm undertones. So warm undertones are hints of yellow, peach, golden hues, and they look very good on people with warm undertone. Cool undertones are hints of pink, blue, red hues, which have cool undertones. So your foundation also bases on this, which I'll explain more. And neutral undertones, if your color seems balanced, doesn't clearly lean towards cool or warm, then you're a neutral undertone. So you are very lucky again, just like normal skin, you can wear both shades. Consider the lighting. Lighting can also how you perceive the color. So when you're dressing up, you're doing makeup, and ensure you have enough light in the area. If there is no natural light, you can ensure you have artificial light in the right light for the makeup dressing tables. And then how to identify if you are a warm tone, a neutral tone, or a cool tone. So all of us, we can look at our wrists. If you're light skin, you'll be able to see the veins on your wrist. If they appear bluish, you are a cool undertone. And if they appear greenish, you are a warm undertone. And because some of us, we can be very dark skins, we don't know, but the darker skin falls mostly in the warm undertone. So the cool undertone is for the very fair people mostly, and who are very lighter in skin. And if you can't clearly distinguish, you might have a neutral undertone. This can be a bit tricky, so you can side chat me on my WhatsApp, and I can help you understand which undertone you are if you're having a difficulty. And you have to pay attention to preferences. Certain colors might complement your skin better than others. Right, we all know that how good we feel in certain colors and how other colors can wash us out and drain our skin tone out and make us look fadey. So warm undertones, if you have warm undertone, your skin may have a hint of yellow, peach, golden hues. And yellowish, peach, golden hues are very common in the Indian skin tone, even in the African skin tone, and on the darker side of it. So the warmth of foundations, your foundation should have a yellow or a golden base. You can go with golden eyeshadows to enhance your look. If you're on the cooler side, your foundations will be on a pinker base, rosy base, pink rosy base, and generally on the paler side. So using makeup that aligns your cool undertone will help your complexion. So the colors like blue, pink of eyeshadow look very good on you, even on the blush. And if you're neutral undertone, you're very lucky. You possess both warm and cool tones, and you have a wider range of makeup you can use to enhance your look according to your mood and to the weather. And yes, so I will stop sharing my screen and we will now come back to which makeup product to use when. And if you're here with me in the call, I can't see, most of us have video switched off. Type for me a 888 in the chat just to show me you're here with me together. And I can see the chat is loading with questions. So thank you so much. Right. So before we start any makeup, we are supposed to be having a clean face. So when I talk about normal to dry skin, you would be using a cream-based cleanser to clean your skin. So a product like this, refreshing cleansing, which is more on the creamier side, should be good for you to cleanse your face. Sometimes we have cream cleansers and some we have creamy face washes. So those are very good for dry skin. Then also for normal skin, you can use a vitamin E or a canola oil face wash, which can be also gel based. And it's also a good space for a combination skin, which is not on the drier skin. So drier side, so you can use a product like this. This is a face wash. And then if you have oily skin, then something of this base, which has a gel base in it, content of orange, and that is very good for cleansing your skin. So this is about how to cleanse your skin every day. So a makeup base should start with a clean skin. And then we have to tone our skin. Yes, toning is very important for closing the pores. And people with normal to dry skin can use this, even combination skin. So they can use a product with rose hip, a skin toner, just a mild toner, which does not have to have alcohol, or it should not be harsh to take care of your skin. So for me, my favorite is this. You can even use rose water, put it in a spray bottle and splash. It's a very good toner. And then if you have a very oily skin, then I would say something like this, a toner with a bit of orange in it, which when you apply on your skin will help you close the pores, and your skin will look more smoother. And once the pores are closed, things look very flawless. And how to apply a toner? We are not using now old school. Either put it in a spray bottle and just spray directly and let it go in your skin, or you can take a few drops, like 6 drops on your on your fingers, and just dab slowly. So no using that. And then after toning, we give it 2 minutes, and we now go to moisturization. So moisturizing is amazing. We have products according to skin type. You have to know best products to choose. So anything for example, anything for let's say for very dry skin has to be creamy. So if you see my hand, the consistency of your moisturizer should be creamy. And let me pin myself on the screen so that I can see more, can be more visible. Right. And it has to be creamy. Then people with normal to dry, people with combination skin have to use a moisturizer which is on a lotion base. So you can see the difference when I apply it here, it's lighter. So this is dry skin, creamier moisturizer. Then normal to combination skin can go with this, with the lotion, a face lotion, or a cream base, which is slightly lighter. And then for the oily skin, we have to use a product which is gel based. So I will share with you that how it should look. So it has to be more on the geller side and translucent side. So when you use the right moisturizer, you give your skin a very proper base. So I think I'm clear on this. Dry skin, creamy, normal or combination skin, something a bit lighter than the cream, in between lotion, and then the gel skin. The oily skin, you use the gel one, yeah. So give me a thumbs up if that is clear. Then now we go towards the makeup part. And those who are joining us now, we are just talking about products for different skin type. And allow me to just share my screen again so I can bring more clarity to what's happening for those people who have joined. So we have talked about now cleansing, toning, and moisturizing. So next we are going now towards makeup. And we'll talk about primers, we'll talk about correctors, we'll talk about concealers, foundations, loose powder, compact powders, and contour. So I'm again stopping to share my screen. And we are done now with having a good base. We call it CTM. CTM means cleanse, tone, moisturize. Super. And from here now we move to primers. So I have so many primers today, which I want to talk about to you as well. We have one for Maybelline. It's called Instant Poreless Eraser. This is very good for the oily skin which really has a lot of oil coming out. Your makeup doesn't stay, your pores are visible. So this is a good product. Yes. And there are many more in the market. Then we have a primer from Oriflame, which I really like using. It's smoothening. It's a very good. It's very good for combination skin. And then we have this one for oily skin. This is a product for Elianto from Malaysia. So we have this, which is on the gel base. So again, the same concept. And then I have something from Bobbi Brown for very dry skin. So again, the same thing. A primer for dry skin has to be creamy, so it can give a great base. And then for combination and oily skin, you need something which is water-based. It has to be on a consistency of gel or very light. And combination skin is good with many, but if you are a combination skin who has a lot of pores on the T-zone, you can go with the pore minimizer primer. Super. Next, now we go to, after putting on primer on our face, now we have to do something called color correcting, because we all have dark circles under our eyes. Some of us have marks, blemishes, and all that. So you need like a palette which has a color corrector. The color correctors are normally in orange shade. And we use creamy concealers and correctors for dry to normal skin. So this is more on the creamier side. And that's a corrector which you use, and then you put your concealer on top if you have a lot of marks, pimple marks. So you can see how it covers it up. And then we have also the liquid concealers and correctors, which are more on the liquidy side if you see the texture, and they're easy to blend in on oily skin. So the texture is creamy for dry to normal. Combination to oily, you can go for liquid cleansers. Right. Super. Thank you, Rebecca, for the reminder. Yes, please keep throwing in your questions. And after concealer and corrector, now we moved towards the foundation. Yes, so I have 3 types of foundation. When I said combination skin, this is what I call a tinted moisturizer, which I want to talk about. And this is something which also has SPF. Oops, I've poured a lot, and this can be good for usage for 3 times to 4 times. And it's mostly on the liquidy side with SPF in it, and it's slightly tinted. So this can be very good for normal and combination skin. And then for the dry skin, you can use the stick foundation, which is more creamy. So you can see it will moisturize your skin and it will not look dry. So this has more creamy finish to it. And right. And then for the oily skin, we need a mattifying foundation. This is what I use in the summer because I'm a combination skin and I can get very oily on my T-zone. So I use a mattifying Clinique foundation, which is more on the liquid side. So and that's the consistency of a liquid foundation. It blends in very easily and gives you a matte finish. So ensure your foundation is on the matte side if you're oily. And you can be using 2 different foundations depending on the season. Winter, if you're a combination skin. If we are all together, please type in the chat 555. We're almost halfway, and just 7 to 8 more minutes to learn more about the products. And now we go towards the blush, the contour, and the highlighter. And before this, we have to set our base. So when we are setting our base, we use powder. So those who are very oily or have under eye, you have used concealer, you can use a setting powder, which is normally translucent, or there's the banana powder, which is light. And yes, thank you. I can see so many 555s coming in. We are all tuned in and we are doing well. Super. So this is for setting. And if you're more on the oily side, you can use it on your face if you're fair. There is the banana powder, which is more on slightly browner shade. And we do have loose powders even in the darker shade for the darker skin tone. And then we have something called compact powder. This is from Chanel. And this is something you can use with your brush. If you are normal to dry skin, you normally don't need a lot of powder, but people with combination skin, you need a compact to, after doing your foundation, to put it in place to set the base. So you can use it with your brush or with a sponge and you can dab. So dry and normal skin, you can do without a powder. You can just work with translucent powder to set your correctors. Super. So that is now our base is ready. And now we are going in with eye makeup. Yes. So quickly, I will share with you eye makeup. I will share what you may need for eye makeup. So always, I prefer eye makeup can crease easily. So we need eyeshadows which are powder based. Creamy can work for very dry skin, and creamy eyeshadows are good for mature skin. That's a good space, but the eyeshadows with good pigment, they work very well for everyone. And you can just invest into a good quality eyeshadow palette with warm tones if you're a warm undertone person, on the cooler shades if you're on the cooler side. So for me, being warm, this is my go-to palette, and it has different shades. So it has a bit of shimmer and it has a bit of matte shades. So if I sample to you, sorry about that. So this is how a matte, and then this is about glitter. So you don't have to be a professional to do eyeshadow. Like today, I've just done one tone and I've gone with a shimmer. It's easier to do that. Then we all need a mascara. That's the basic eyeshadow to open the, after applying a good eyeshadow to open your eyes. And mascaras come with different wands. So this is a mascara which gives volume and length all in one together. And then you can use an eyeliner, you can use a kajal under your eyes and eyebrows, but we'll have a separate webinar just about eye makeup in the coming time soon. So that was about eye makeup, and now we go to our blush. So blushes can be in two again. They are creamy blush. So this is more on the creamier side, rosier side. And if you have dry skin or normal skin, you can go for a cream blush. If you're on the combination side, you can even go for a powder blush according to your skin tone. Blushes in between pinks to browns to apricot look good on all skin types. So this is now a powdered blush, and this is the consistency. So they are more on the matte side and these are more on the moisturizing side. So remember again, if you're normal to dry skin, you can use cream-based blush. And if you're on the combination to oily skin, you can use a powdered blush. Super. Same thing with the highlighters. And yes, so when we are talking about highlighter, again, we have cream-based highlighters. So this is more on the silver side. So highlighters we use on the upper part of the cheekbones, on the nose, on slightly on our temples and under the eyebrows. So if you see, this is more on the creamy side as the highlighter. So these are very good for normal to dry skin. And then we also have highlighters which are on the powder and metallic side. This is a gold highlighter, and this is how the powder ones look. So this is how you use your highlighter. Somebody is unmuted. Kindly mute yourself. Grace G and Okemba, kindly mute yourself. Yes. And then we now talk about contouring. So we have, again, contours for the dry skin. So you always need to go 2-tone darker from your skin color when you're trying to contour, and the shade has to be 2 tones darker than your normal skin tone so that the contour can show. And this is the cream-based contour. And then there's also powder contours. I don't have it right now, but I'll share with you soon. It's also coming in a compact form like powder, and you use a brush to apply it. So that's about contouring. And yes, and your makeup is done. Basically, to repeat the process, the last thing we do is setting spray. Yes, so there is trend of setting spray and fixing spray. I normally like using different kinds of setting sprays, and fixing sprays are very good for oily skin, but to my experience, normal to dry skin to combination skin should always go with fixing with setting sprays, which give you a more hold. And a fixing spray you can even use before you prime your face. Once you have just done your moisturizer, you use it, you then prime. That can make your makeup stay longer. And then again, you use it after the makeup. Once your makeup and base and everything is complete, you just do like basically fix in this. Most of them are in spray form, so 6 are good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to cover the whole face. 6 puffs. Yes. And then lastly, we talk about our lips. Yes, so lipsticks. Yeah, many people who don't even like wearing makeup, they like lipsticks. So we have different kind of lipsticks, and the current trend is with liquid matte. Yeah, so liquid lipsticks are more creamier, and they tend to go matte after some time. You can use gloss. Then we have the creamy matte. Again, this is the difference in texture. You can see it's more shiny, but again, it becomes matte. So that's there. And then we have the very matte ones, which you can apply. I normally suggest that the people with oily skin, they can go with more on the matte version side. And people with dry to combination skin can go with either matte or on the creamier side. So that is about knowing what makeup to use for your skin type. And I bring my presentation to the end, and we can now go with more Q&A.
Yes, Amit, that was beautiful. That was very clear and concise. Very clear. Here we are going to address a few questions. You have some few questions from our listeners, and you're going to start with somebody called Lillian Itenya. I want to know how to apply makeup myself instead of paying. Ensure I apply makeup daily. What can I use step by step? How to use and the product. So I think you have answered some of it because you have at least shown us a product, but maybe she wants to know what is a quick makeup fix for an everyday look.
Okay. Lillian, if you can come on speaker and tell me what is your skin type? Like from this session, what have you been able to understand. What do you think is your skin type? Okay, so Lillian says, I have no sound on mic. So a quick go-to makeup can be cleanse, moisturize, and tone your skin according to your skin type. You can side chat me if you don't know what's your skin type. I can help you find that. And tinted moisturizer is good to go if you're between combination to normal skin. If you're on the drier side, you can use a cream-based foundation. And then if you're on the oilier side, you'll use a mattifying foundation. Once your base is set, you use a bit of powder. You can put a bit of lipstick and a little bit of, okay, Lillian says she's combination skin. So a tinted moisturizer or a foundation with some sunscreen is good to go for you for a daily look. That's one product. And then you can use a bit of powder on your T-zone. Have a bit of eyeshadow, mascara to open up the eyes, and you can choose the shade of the lipstick according to how you are at work. If you're having a boardroom meeting, you can go for a nude browner shade. If you are now going to a party that day in the evening, you can try a bold red shade, and you can use a bit of highlighter in the evening. It's amazing. You can play around with it. Thank you for your question, Lillian. Any other question?
There's
Rebecca?
another Lillian. This one is Lillian Shiro. And our question is on the foundation. I would like to understand foundation. I've seen some videos where they mix normal looking foundation with a blue colored foundation or other colors too. I have not seen that, but maybe you can address that.
Okay, I would address that. Blue color sometimes is used for people who are going on screen for light reflective. It's not a kind of makeup which we need to wear every day. It's more for the screen, people who are having a lot of blemishes. Colors like blue and green I use as undertones, if I'm not wrong. And for me, I really enhance more on the natural side of the beauty. So having a good skin is the first step to enhance your makeup naturally. So the blue kind of mixing does not work for me, but for me, if I can advise is if you have a good foundation, you can mix it with how do I put it, some glow kind of product in it, which are called, like in MAC, they have, it's called, the name is not coming to me, but it's called strobe. Yes, MAC has a strobe. Even the primer I just shared with you for Opulence, for Oriflame is here. So this is something what you can use even in your foundation to add glow and to give a bright. So like this is now what you need for the whole face, and you can add a dab of foundation to it. You mix it before applying, so the finishing will be more glowy and more, if you're looking at a dewy look. So this is how you do your dewy look, and you keep massaging, brushing it into the skin until you get that glow. So I hope, Lillian, I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up.
Yes, thank you.
Good.
You're
good.
welcome. Yes.
Lillian has another question, and I like her questions because I know so many of us have the same questions.
Bring them
The
on.
questions that I'm not reading are the ones that I feel you have addressed.
Okay.
So now Lillian has another question on eyeshadow. Does it darken your eyelids, and how to apply eyeshadow on hooded eyelids?
Right. So for hooded eyelids, the foundation can, the eyeshadow can be applied in very many ways. If you're a beginner, what I would say is use your liquid concealer first. After priming your face, the same primer can be applied on the eyes, and then you go with your concealer, you apply, and then you use a beauty blender to blend it in well before you do your eyeshadow. And for hooded eyes, I would say you can go with one color tone to begin with. So a warm color is normally nice if you are on the warmer side. Even just a gold or a berry brown can look good. So you can start experimenting slowly. Have one monotone eyeshadow and use that, or you can add like a lighter brown on the 3/4 of the eye, and on the corners a darker brown, and blend it well and have a transition shade in the brown on the upper part of your eyelash. But we will do makeup according to different eye shapes soon towards September. So I will get in touch with you and we will take you through how to do hooded eyes. But that's a basic step to start with for any eye type. Yes, any eye type shape. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amit. That was very, very clear. Now, Dorka here says, I have always avoided makeup because I sweat a lot. What do I do?
Okay, super. So that means you are very oily skin type, and it's okay. What you can do even before you do your makeup or you put on your moisturizer, sorry, you can take an ice cube in a nice clean handkerchief, apply on your face after cleansing, then tone your face, and then apply any gel moisturizer on your face. Even if you're oily, you need a moisturizer to protect your skin. And then for you, the primer will be a poreless, instant poreless primer in any brand. Sorry. And that, once you apply on the pores, that will give you prolonged matte finish. And then your foundation has to be on the mattifying side. And you're good to go. And in between the day, if you feel you're having oil, you will use your compact powder to touch up, or there's something called blotting papers, which you can now use to remove the oil. But this technique should last you between 8 hours of non-oily finish if you have a good mattifying foundation. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. Some compact powders. This is Lillian Shiro, and she's asking, some compact powders come with 2 layers of palettes. Is a creamy one a color corrector?
Okay, Shiro, maybe Lillian Shiro, you can share the photo with me because there is a lot out there in the market. But when you see, according to my best of my knowledge, when you see in 2 layers, the creamier one is called cake foundation. And if both the powder and the creamy one are the same shade, that's like now a base foundation combo. Basically, for combination to oily skin is where now, sorry, dry to combination skin is where the cake kind of foundation works. So basically, what I mentioned as a creamy foundation is what you mean. There, it's not in a stick form, but it's in a cream form in a rectangle space, and then on top is the powder. So that's also a good product because you can use that as your foundation and use the powder on top as the mattifying to cover the base. I hope that answers your question, Lillian Shiro.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yes, color correctors will come in this kind of palette. So you'll see they are more on the cream side and they have mostly orange and dark browns on it. And these are good products, good palettes to have because you can even use them as a contour and as a highlighter as well. Yes, thank you.
And maybe, Amit, I should mention over here that, yes, some of us have more questions. And if you need more clarity on your on the question that you asked, you need more clarity on the answer, feel free to reach out to Amit. She will give us her contact. Then we can WhatsApp her, we can call her for personal consultation. I'm sure she will consider to give us a free consultation for us who have attended this webinar, at least one consultation. So feel free if you have a question that you feel you're not able to share in the chat, it is okay, because Amit will help you out and you can give her a private call or a WhatsApp message or just a normal message. All right. Amit, there's a question here that I think you answered half of it.
Okay.
And the question was still on the eyeshadow. The first part of the question was, does it darken your eyelids?
Yes, if you have a good brand of eyeshadow with good pigment, it will not darken your eyelids. Eyelids tend to darken due to other reasons. Not having a good diet, good balanced diet, not having a lot of screen time, and it also does happen with age. So it's always good to use a good eye cream in your skincare routine, especially after the age of 30. That helps to take care of all the darkening, and darkening happens when we don't moisturize our skin, because when I mentioned dry skin is dull skin and then it tends to darken. So now that means is using the concealer will give it a base. You use a primer, you use a concealer on top, the way I had mentioned, a liquid, and then you apply the eyeshadow. That will not affect anything on your eyelids. Yes,
Yeah.
and plus emphasize use of eye creams. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Lilian Itenya says, I'm thinking if next time we can have a practical step-by-step and see the application step by step on the face. She is quick to emphasize it's on the face. So
Yes.
I bet next time you have to give us and maybe bring us a model and just show us step by step, because this is an area that most people need help with. And we want you to demystify further by helping us with the practical part of it. There's no other question unless somebody has a pressing question. And they
Yes.
can just raise their hand and ask.
Yeah, we still have 3-4 more minutes, and we can tackle more questions. And to answer Lillian's request, yes, towards the end of the month, we'll have another session where I will do a face makeup. Before I do a makeup, I want to prepare you for the right products to use, because if we don't have the right products, the makeup does not work according to your skin. So this was a good session for you to learn which product works for you, so that when we are doing makeup, at least you have enough time to get the right products for yourself when you're planning to invest. So next session, I'm planning to do a half face of normal to dry skin on one side and oily skin on one side. So by using different products. So please be with us in the next session. The dates will be out soon. It will be towards
Yes.
end of August. Yes, thank you.
And thank you so much. Kirsty says, and I know lighting is very important. Yes, Kirsty, lighting is very important when applying makeup, because sometimes you think your makeup is looking so flawless, in your house, and when you go outside, you get all these stares and people keep asking, what is it you have on your chin? So it's important to have in-house light that is beautiful. And if you can use natural lighting, it again is better and always very different. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for sharing that with us. That is very, very important. Richard Jellican says, I am listening, but I cannot talk. It's okay, Richard. I hope you're learning from this conversation that we are having today. And today's conversation was mastering makeup products for every skin type. And maybe we should have added for male and for female participants. So
Yes.
makeup applies for everyone, depending on your day-to-day job. There are places where the men have to apply some makeup, for some form of makeup, to have a flawless look for the camera. Yes, so
Yes.
thank you so very much. Unless there's another question, we have like a few minutes to close down this webinar.
Yes, as we wait for more questions to flow in for Richard, because men's skin is mostly on the oily type or oily side of the skin type. So for them, having a good toner, a cleanser, and a gel-based moisturizer is very important. And then they can use mostly powder on their face. Yes, if it is on the makeup side. A mattifying powder, because foundations sometimes don't seem to work for men because of the oily nature in their skin kind. So having a powder and doing touch-ups is the best option for them if they are wearing foundation.
Good. Thank you so much. Maybe Amit, I can also suggest that you put up your number. I'm sure
Yes.
people want to see your number so that they can reach out to you. And the
Yes,
mean-
as I share my screen, yes, so basically we have answered all the questions, and that is my number 0725474143. Preeti Panesa is my name, and this number is on WhatsApp. So kindly you can note it down, 0725474143. And I will offer 30 minutes of free online session for the attendees of this Zoom one-to-one. So you can book with me from session starting from Friday morning. We will do 30 minutes where you can ask all your questions. I can help you identify your skin type, what products you can use. Yes, so as I stop sharing my screen, that is all I have. And Christy is saying, thank you, ladies, very informative call. Yes. Rebecca, any other question before we leave?
No. We just have people like Kirsty, people like Lillian Shiro saying, very glad. Thank you, Preeti, great insights. Kensid says, very glad to be part of this talk. Thank you for the lessons. That is from Karen. So I think we have kept time. People have to go back to their different engagements. But thank you all so much for being with us. My name again is Rebecca Kim Manzi, working as a moderator. And this call, I was very, very happy to be with each one of us. Thank you so much and have a lovely day ahead.
Yes, thank you, Rebecca, for the great moderation and being my support system. Thank you, all of you, for being here and taking your time out, and we bring the call to an end. Yes, so we'll stop recording.
Yes, and